And if you ask me to do it any more than 10 days, I'd tell you to fuck off.
Hi there, welcome to Real Sales Dynamics, where we break down in-field sales footage in order to get you better at door knocking. Today, we're going to be defining the word Blitz, what we mean by it specifically in the solar realm, unlike the World War II realm. And we're going to have a number of people who are going to be helping us define it today, including Austin Hayes, Jackson Morgan, and a new guy by the name of Chad, who actually runs a solar sales dealership with us, who chooses to come to these blitzes to learn more, to be able to sell more, so he can bring that information out to his teams in their different areas. If you want to learn more as a whole about this, make sure to go to flblitz.com, or just go ahead and watch this video starting right now.
The way this blitz model has changed for me specifically is, I bring my guys out. It allows us all to be focused, and we're not just going to work, 2, 3, 4 days. We'll work 7, 8 days in a row. When you work 7, 8 days in a row, especially with this job, typically for me, on average, when I was following just knocking on the daily, knocking on TAMPA, on average I'd make anywhere from 25 to 40K a month. With this blitz, the last blitz we did, I ended up making over 75 grand, and that was just in 10 days. It's easy when we're left to our own devices. Some of us, we won't put in that extra work. It's very easy when you're close to your home. You go somewhere, it might not be as good. You're like, okay, it's been a tough day. I'm gonna just go back home. Or you go out there, you get the 2 bills, you get 3 bills. You're like, okay, I'll just, got my work done for the day. I'll go back home. Versus out here, there's nothing else to do besides work. You go to the gym in the morning, and you're not gonna come back to the end of the day at the meeting not having as many bills as you could possibly have. You wanna come back and be like, hey man, I'm the one that got 5 appointments. I'm the one that got 4 deals today. You wanna be that guy. Paid faster than ever. They're doing great work. Installs are going up 2 to 3 weeks. It's a beautiful thing, man. When you can put in the work and you trust that you have people behind you that's going to do good work and do the job right and get paid on time, it's hard to find that in this industry.
So it's been absolutely incredible when you're around a team where you can feel through it all and know that that deal is going to get installed in the time that they say. It makes your life a lot easier, because when you go into that deal, your conviction goes from here to here. I've made more on this blitz than I did in the past 3 months. The installed team, the crew, that made me feel right at home right when I switched over, and it's been a huge blessing. Can't thank the boys enough. Like, you walk in, you feel respected as a new guy, and you just start throwing down. It's incredible. I couldn't ask for a better experience.
2024, I had a New Year's resolution to drop the ego and put myself out there a little bit more. And in doing so, we had door-to-door con end of January. I just went up to yourself and Carlos and introduced myself and said what's up. And here I am halfway through the year on a blitz with Carlos. One of the most crucial things, or what sparked all of this, was my dealer for 2023 probably did what a good rep can do in 1 month, or what we're doing in a damn day right now. With that being said, Carlos has taken my sales process and implemented such slight tweaks that has allowed a significant increase since the first blitz. Day 1 on my first blitz, Carlos called me just to check in. Now, I had to go on this blitz, and I volunteered to just be a setter. I wanted to learn. I've never worked for a large organization. I'm a setter. Carlos calls me, as he is technically my manager. We talk shortly, briefly. I'm getting my ass kicked on the doors, 80 doors, bageled. But in the midst of all that, Carlos texts me saying, and this is when I was like, damn, this guy is so good. He's like, stand straight, put your shoulders back, or take your shoulders back. And we just got off the phone. He's calling me from God knows where. I was like, damn, this guy is about it. He is the real fucking deal. And I'm not just saying that because I am in 3 huge masterminds within our industry that I pay a lot of money for. Not necessarily relevant, but it could be relevant. I more so didn't want to look like, yeah, I'm part of all these masterminds, bro. Yeah, I spend I think $16,000 or $17,000 a month for masterminds. But sales-related value and the amount of money I spent with Carlos, which by the way is free 99. I mean, I've a hotel here and there, driven the Tesla, spent so much money on gas. The sales training from Carlos is top tier, and I sincerely mean that in terms of, I think we went from 15% closing ratio, and since post Blitz, we're at 72 or 80% right there, and just by those tweaks. I'm not exaggerating. It is popped off for my dealership as soon as I came home and implemented those slight tweaks. Being held accountable, being pushed to your limits, beating your own ass and door to door it's awesome. And if you ask me to do it any more than 10 days, I'd tell you to fuck off.
A question comes up every now and then. What is a solar sales blitz? Well, some of you guys might know of traveling salesmen who go all across the entire country, right? There's literally plays about them. And unfortunately, in a lot of those cases, what happens is they don't actually take care of customers in those situations. Well, in solar sales, it's a little bit different. You see, throughout the entire country, there are these untapped markets. And when I say untapped, I mean, maybe there's 20 or 30,000 people living there, and they need about 80 to 100 reps to really ensure that everyone's taken care of in a timely manner before the utilities jack up the rates, or the state or some other organization prevents solar from being able to get installed there anymore, right? So the quicker we can get in there, the better. Now, what can happen in these blitzes is, if you're not working with an installer who's dialed in, who's maybe doesn't even know you're going on a blitz, you'll sell these deals. That installer isn't aware of the permitting times or anything else, doesn't have any site survey crews out there. Unfortunately, a lot of those deals end up getting lost. That's where you'll see these terrible rates where they sold 10 and sold only 2. What we have done is teamed up with an installer to where I sign up a deal. I can have a site tech. In certain cases, I think one of them was being filmed, will literally show up right after my close, get all of that in order. Then I have a team of diligent workers who know exactly what we're doing, who get all the engineering done, final design approvals, and starts pulling for permits within 2 days. If we're working with a great installer, like I am, and you can learn more about that by sending in the submission form below, we're getting installs in these areas. By the time our 10-day blitz is done, we're already installing some of the deals that we already sold in the beginning. We're talking 7 to 10-day installations. The quicker you can get that to work, the better off you're going to be. Because what happens is that, let's say I sell this deal, then I leave for 3 months. Well, now they've had the chance to talk to A, B, C, or D people who know nothing about solar but live in a state of fear, and they're hearing their voices more than hearing your voice. So the quicker turnaround time, the quicker PTO time, the better off you're going to be. Another great thing that happens with these blitzes, though, is that you show to all those people who you signed up, hey, they had a great experience. You can go hit that area again, let's say in 2 months, 3 months. Now you can go meet up with all those people who told you no, right? Or said like, not right now, and show them customer after customer after customer who's already taken care of in their neighborhood. That way you end up saturating the market with good quality solar, right? That's actually taking care of those customers in the long run. One of the things that happens, especially in solar sales, like career-based solar sales, is you will, let's say, work your own neighborhood. Well, you're working 365 days a year. What's going to happen? Well, I got to do laundry today. I got to go work on my car. I got to go talk to my wife. I got to go do this, this, and this, right? I got to go hang out with the dogs. I've heard all kinds of excuses. I need my haircut today, so I can't sell the entire day. Well, when you go to these unsaturated markets, really small ones, Lehigh Acres, and that's where we're at right now, Sebring where we're at before, there's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. There's no bars to go to. Your girlfriend isn't hanging out at the place, right? You don't have your dog there. Nothing's there. All you can do that entire time is sell. Right? And humans work incredibly well at a sprint. They're not as good as far as long distance in a lot of cases when it comes to sales. So you get into this mentality of, well, our sales meeting's at 9 a.m. So as soon as we're done there, the whole 60, 70, 80 other people, they're all going to go out and knock right now. And I want to be the first one who sells something. Versus when you're by yourself, you're kind of like, maybe I'll go out today. And so what I've seen on multiple occasions is we've had reps who maybe do 1 or 2 deals a month, do 1 to 2 deals on their first day out here, because it challenges your preconceptions about what you're capable of doing. And so through that, you become a better version of yourself, right? You learn how to lead even within the small packs that you're working with at that time. And as a result from all of that, you make a hell of a lot of money. So what we've been doing over the course of this last couple months, I was never necessarily the biggest fan of Blitz modeling. I have become that because I've seen what I've been able to do and what these other guys can do. If you're working for a small dealership, we'll probably have one of my buddies, Chad, talk in a little bit here, who had a small dealership. None of his guys are really working that hard. They're trying to figure stuff out. One of the hardest things to do in solar is start a dealership with only 2 reps, right? Going from 2 to 10 is way harder than going from 10 to 20, because keeping those guys motivated on a daily basis can be kind of difficult, especially if you're doing all the stuff. We've literally had dealers come in, join the Blitz. They're treated just like everyone else, and they prove themselves to the guys that are on their team. They're like, hey, just a reminder, the reason why you work for me is I just closed down 10 deals. As soon as you go back to your dealership, to your company or wherever you're selling, you have this reinvigoration of what it means to actually work, right? You had an idea of what work is. Turns out that was just being mostly lazy and thinking about working, living in a perpetual state of anxiety, which is fear of a future that doesn't exist. Instead, now you have this extra umph in you, right? Because you have a confidence conviction that you cannot teach, you can only experience. In order to experience it, you need to do something like this. This will elevate your game in multiple ways, not only through income, but in general knowledge. Because while we're doing these, myself and a couple other guys do trainings every single day. And as much as you want to say, I know everything about solar, if you're not selling 15 to 20 deals a month, there may be some things that we can do to kind of help you get a little bit better. And hey, if you stand out and do an amazing job during the Blitz, trust me, I'm the first to ask questions like, how do you do that? How do you do that? How do you do that? But it doesn't matter how many deals you sell, you should always be coachable. You should always be willing to learn. Because in an ever-changing market, like we're in right now with solar, you need to be consistently elevating your game. If you become okay with mediocrity, that cancer will not only take up your life, it'll take up all of your reps. And then you're doing a disservice in that situation. So we invite anyone, even if you're working for XYZ company that you believe is the best, but yet you're not really producing, you're not really selling, come on in, we'll get you in a better spot, and I promise we'll change your life. And that wraps it up. If you want to learn more about how to sell solar, make sure to click subscribe below. If you want to jump onto one of these blitzes, go to flblitz.com. But most importantly, click on one of these 2 little videos. YouTube thinks you're going to like it a lot.